Hi guys, this is Ravenclaw What If. Welcome back to another What If story. Now this is What If Deku is a dragonkin part 7, I believe. I'm not totally sure. My bad, it's part 8. Part 7 was the last part I did, so yeah, okay, it's part 8. Now, I haven't forgot about my Wednesday What If. That will be shoved to tomorrow. So I have the whole day to think about the story. But this one will take I'm gonna do this one first. And for this character, kind of this. I'm just gonna go by Vex because it's easy to remember for me personally. So yeah, I'm so trying to get this get her name figured out, and Vex is easier to remember. So I'm just gonna use that for now. Well, I'll probably use that for the rest of the story. As I don't know where I left off. I know I wasn't sure if they already made it to the ring or not, but they're beginning to announce the final match of the night of the tournament. As you have Izuku and Mina discussing the strategy. So, what's the plan? As Mina asks Izuku, as Izuku looks back at her. Ah, sorry, guys. As he's like, by the behavior I've seen of those two, the angry looking one will most likely go after me. So, I'll most likely go after the older one. And you most likely have to take care of the small one, but be careful with that one. We haven't seen much of his abilities in the tournament itself. So I suggest you gauge him before you go into attack. If you want to get fried, go right ahead and don't, take my suggestion in consideration. They most likely have bolt fire base abilities. Mina sighs, yay, more fire. Goody. As they announced a match, sorry, as they all get to the beginning of they get in their positions into the ring, and the announcer goes off. This is the last tournament of the day. It's the final. It's the final day of the tournament, and it's the final match. So they announce their schools as they get into a fighting position. We cut to the twins as Lou's getting visibly happy. Shin, yes, sis, you take you take the pink girl. I want the pleasure of socking that condescending prick in the face. Ever since I saw him, he bugs me. As you know, Shin doesn't care either way, so he's like, whatever. As he gets in position to charge at Mina, as Lou lunges at Izuku as she's trying to fry him with fire, as Izuku's just weaving, just dodging it like it's like nothing. As she's getting physical upset, as she's like, take this serious. As she goes into a full on blast, as Izuku jumps backwards, as he creates enough distance, as Izuku smiles a little bit, as you want me to take this seriously, girl? Then allow me to get somewhat serious. As he starts creating, the whole lightning spears, as he's tossing them at Lou, as as she's barely dodging them, as one of them hits her on the side of the ribs, as several more comes flying at her, as Izuku Blitz goes into close quarters combat, as he socks her across the face as she goes flying across the ring. Now, small pause. Izuku doesn't give two shits what gender you're from. If you challenge him, he'll boot you in the ground. So, yeah, he beats everyone equally. So, yeah. So, yeah, he doesn't hold back. Cut to people watching. As some of them are not liking the whole, Izuku showing his full, uh, going at her at his full power that he's able to do right now in physical strength. As Inka's like, I wanted her son to win, but isn't he taking this a little too far? He should at least hold back. As Ryuko is like, Deku, Izuku, our son. He doesn't hold back for anyone. Doesn't matter what gender you come from. He's showing his. He's using his full strength out of respect. What would you think the girl would think of if he won holding back against her? How would she would sorry, how would you think how she would feel after that? Being defeated, humiliated by someone holding back their full power. Especially towards that specific family. He's doing he's doing what he needs to. As we cut to Lou, as she digs her claws into the ground as it stops her from going over to the edge. As she was pretty close. As she gets back up, goes to a considerable distance more towards Izuku. As she gets to a stance, as she smiles, she's like, hit pretty hard, Izuku. I'm done playing around. As wings pop out, as she flies, as she begins aerial attacks at Izuku. As actually Izuku's starting getting hit, as she's getting pot shots off him, as she's flying in a good enough speed where he can't really keep up with the speed of descent, flying and all that jazz. So yeah, he can't really keep up with that if he stays on the ground or he doesn't change something fast. As Izuku looks up, as he sees her flying in air, as he smiles, aerial attack. Oh, this is going to be fun. As wings pop out of Izuku, yeah, because he has wings. Because I think I mentioned that in earlier parts. Because I know, yeah, because I did have a part where he flew. So yeah, he definitely has wings. So as wings come out, as drips of lava come hitting on the ground, you have to be paying attention to notice that, but it's quite visible because every time he pops his wings out, there's always some residue of lava just for effect, just because I thought that would be cool looking. Every time his wings spot out, a little bit of lava pops out because of what type of dragonkin I made him. Short pause in the story, just to give you a little run back on on the dragonkin that Deku comes from. They're dragonkin, so because of they're on a volcano, their military force mostly comes from aerial attack. So they easily develop natural, talent for flight. So Ezekiel has been flying long, but he's become quite really good at it. They're more adept at flying. That's what I'm just trying to say. You have, as we cut to Ezekiel doing a dogfight with Lu as he's flying with his hands crossed between his chest, as he's like, can't simply use my fire spear that I totally didn't rip off from a dever. As he's trying to convince himself that he didn't rip off a dever, because he totally did. Guess I'm gonna have to stick to lower lower base fire attacks. Oh, such a waste of time. As he gets in sight of, he can fire now finally. As he shoots fire out from his mouth, hitting Lu. As Izuku jumps into a dive, as they dive right into the arena ground. As there's a little bit of crater. They're pretty high up. The arena is pretty it's a dome, but it's like pretty tall up. So for flying, for any corks that have anything to do with flying, they have a battling area over there. So as long as you don't fall outside of the ring, you're still in. So that's how that works. As you have Lou, as she gets up, as she spits out blood, as she recovers herself, as she's like, "That was dirty, Izuku. That's a dirty move." As her hands ignite into fire, as she's ready to go again. Play dirty, you say? As he dusts some dust off him. I don't play dirty, Lou. I play smart. Doesn't matter what tactic I use, as long as it gets me the most results. I don't allow petty emotions to get in my way of getting the best results possible. Now, for Mina's side of the fight, I don't see her doing a whole lot at first, just gauging her opponent, then going in to attack, but I don't see her winning this fight just with acid alone, even though she knows some martial arts because of Izuku. But I really don't see her winning this bout because of his superior strength, his speed, and the fact that he breathes, he's able to use fire, so that's an issue. I won't go into details because, yeah, that match would have been very short. So she eventually got knocked out, got knocked out of the ring. As the announcer would say, this has become a 2-on-1 fight now. Mina got eliminated as she pouts. As Izuku says, this fight no longer amuses me. It's time that I end it. As he starts throwing, those fire spears around. As she's trying to block the best she can. As he's not going easy on her. He was using them at like half capacity, like pretty low levels. As these are, full power ones, so they take more of a hit. Oh, sorry guys, how did I say this right? They like, yeah, yeah, they have a kick to it. Basically, what I'm trying to say. As Shin saw that, as he rushes forwards and charges Izuku, as he socks him across the face, and Izuku goes flying a little further away. As he checks on his sister, Lou. Lou, you're right. Yeah, I'm fine, Shin. Didn't realize I didn't realize he had that in him. Interesting. As Lou sees his hand shaking, as she's like, "Brother, you right?" As he's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." What the hell is that guy made of? It hit like that, and my hand would have broke. as he hit him pretty hard, and Izuku's he's not he's not really all human, so he's built differently than humans are. As Izuku's laying on the ground, he's like, huh, I actually got hit. As he's like, that's a very discomforting emotion. As someone's calling out his name, as he looks, sees me at the side of the ring. So, how's losing going for you? As Ezekiel, losing? I'm not losing. Well, it kind of looks like you're losing. Weren't you the one who told me that, you don't lose at anything? Mister, I win at everything I do? As Ezekiel's like, I know what you're trying to do. I'm going to do that, but that's not because of what you said. And she's like, whatever, just get your head at a game and win this. As fine, Mina. Stop nagging me. As that interaction goes off, as people didn't notice that. Izuku knows that she was just trying to encourage him and trying to get him upset because he doesn't like losing. And he does have that obsession with shiny things, so the trophy is quite shiny. So yeah, he kind of wants that. As Izuku gets up, he walks over to the two siblings. And he's like, Izuku's like, you hit pretty hard. You hit pretty hard for someone of your stature. As Shin's like, calling me short. As Izuku, no, I didn't call you. I said nothing of the fact of I've never even mentioned you being short. As he, as he's getting upset over that because Izuku's just calling him short. As Izuku gets a devilish grin, as he's like, I do have a question though, for you. Shin, was it? As he's like, yeah, what is it? And it's like, do you have your mommy's permission to be here, little man? As he's like, that's it, you're dead. As Izuku smiles, let the games begin. Izuku wants to win this, but he also wants to have fun at the same time. So he has a dark, twisted satisfaction to playing with his opponents before he goes in for the killing strike. This is he likes doing this. This is his. It's a bad habit that his mother's for trying to break. But it's still yeah. He likes to play with his opponents. Shin comes straightly jogging towards Midoriya. As Midoriya dodges with he's now tapping in. Well, he's now been using a little bit of magic, just a little bit, to enchant his body for speed. He was saving this for later date, but he has to use it now. The dude's a little fired up. As throughout the dodging, you have Izuku making slide remarks about his his height, how he's small, and if he has his mother's permission to be here. And as he's constantly giving remarks as such as, did your mommy bring your lunch day, or did your mommy bring your lunchbox today, little man? As that kind of blew him over the edge. So he's just on pure rage. He's making mistakes, and that's what Izuku wanted in the first place. As as he goes as he goes to attack Izuku, as Izuku blats him full on plank point range into his fire, as he goes flying into the wall, as he's out of it because he's been eliminated. As Lou's like, hey asshole, take this. As she has her arms together, as she shoots off a large fire base attack. That's just because of her quirk. As it comes strictly at Izuku. As the blast comes strictly towards Izuku, as Izuku has a slide grin on his face. Well, side of his face, he's grinning. That's what a lot of the heroes saw. As the fire engulfs Izuku, as Lou's thinking she's breathing hard, as she's thinking she's won this. It's like that's what you get your prick, or what would she would say pres- uh, arrogant prick, yeah. She would say that as everyone would hear some footsteps as Izuku's casually walking through the flames like it's a shower. It's like it was raining. It was just raining fire for no reason. It's like he's walking in the rain. As she's looking like, how? And she's like, how is that possible? That fire says roast you. Oh, it's simple, really. If I didn't burn, you should really put two to two together. As he whispers, as he kneels down, that means I'm fireproof. As he blasts her right in the face with the fire blast, as she goes flying pretty far. As Lou gets back up, as she's smiling, as Izuku's confused. He's just Izuku's joined fighting just to fight for herself, but he doesn't know how to really gauge people that well when they're having fun or not. But yeah, she's having fun. It just complexes Izuku why. As Lou gets up, she's like, "I'm actually having fun. You're not like the rest of these weaklings. You actually, you actually you come to toe to toe to me. There's one thing I learned from this experience, Izuku. You're one deadly opponent. You don't hold back. That makes this fight so much more entertaining." Short backstory, that's a little bit on her, on Lou. She always under she always followed under two categories. Everyone that she can spar against is too weak, or the ones that are stronger than her won't go. They won't take her seriously because she's not only younger than them, not as powerful, and plus the whole being a girl aspect of it. So yeah, they would always hold back on her. So that's the whole reason why making that a thing in this. So that's her past experience. But Izuku is kind of going all out and pushing himself at his current level where he is right now. So he's pushing himself constantly using these different abilities and using a bit of magic. It is having a toll on Izuku's health. So there is going to be some drawback because of his overuse of his abilities. Now, the magic's not draining like too rapidly. His magic's still good. It's just it's what's making it worse for Izuku is the type of magic he's casting. His It's taking a toll on Izuku's body. So yeah, there's no like that type of spell would have no drawback. There has to be something because it doesn't make sense if it wouldn't like you would spam it all the time and that would be ridiculous. So yes, because he was stacking some spells on each other. So yeah, there's some drawback on it to his body. Yes, as well. Lou, I'm having fun. Yeah, I've had to use some tricks that I was some abilities for later. But you forced me to release it early. So yeah, this is a one interesting fight. As Ezekiel get into a stance, ready to charge at Lou, as Lou and Ezekiel come in and collide with their fists, after each impact, Lou keeps losing ground. As Ezekiel starts getting faster, as his fists, he switched to his normal fists, with his hands igniting with fire. As there a small kick, there's a small on impact. There's a small kick from explosion force. Yeah, it's smaller explosions, but nothing like Bakugo or anything like that. I just thought that'd be cool to have some sort of impact for his physical attacks. As she goes flying across the arena ground, as Izuku kicks her, as she goes flying out, that's ending the match. As Mina sees Izuku is coughing a little bit of blood from his hand, as Mina rushes over there to help Izuku, as he's acting like it was nothing, but the people that do, oh sorry, people see people that he knows or they know him, they know that he's 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 at his last straw. As they take Izuku to the medical bay to get him all checked out. We cut to Nezu as Nezu was enjoying the tournament with David Shield and Melissa. And it's like, well, that was exciting. I quite enjoyed this year. Don't you agree, David Shield? Yes, interesting. As David's like, are you sure, Melissa? Yeah, I'm sure. What is it, David? I have a specific interest in one of the one of the people that entered this year. Actually, the winner, actually. What do you mean, David? We're interested in, just curious about his abilities. Just, a personal curiosity. Would you mind, handing all information on the young man in question? After all, he'll be visiting Island. Let's call it precautions. Very well, David. I guess I could do this. It's not that big of a deal. Nezu has done this for himself personally, so he's not going to bat an eye over this. Something so small. As he releases all the information on the Midoriyas. Now, David, don't let anyone see this outside this office. The documents don't leave my office. Learn what you can now. I just can't have you take it outside my office. It's still personal information from a hero family. That's a big no-no. I'm only doing this for a personal favor to All Might. Is very well, David. We understand. We don't want to cause any trouble. As they get all the information down from Izuku. Now, the only thing that it's not in the documents is Izuku's birth, where he was born. So that's been kind of classified a little bit. Nezu and some higher ups doesn't want that to be well known. That a mysterious egg popped up and some things happen and pop a little dragon boy. So yeah, they're keeping that hush hush. The Hero Suppressed Task Force has kept Izuku under constant watch. So yeah, they're not going to allow Izuku to run free from knowing what he is. So yeah, that's just not going to happen. You have Mina and Izuku collect. They do hold a tournament thing or the ceremony for giving out the medal, and Melissa giving the 2 tickets, well, several tickets to Izu, as Izuku found her interest in him little off a little bit. Doesn't look what sure, but he get the feel that she was studying him, so that's why he got an odd feeling about that. It's overly nice, and just palming him with some questions about his abilities. Just trying to get as much information out of his mouth personally. We're gonna stop it here because for what I have planned, it would be a very long video, and it's like 2 o'clock where I'm at. The next part will be because I made UA into a college. I had to push back the sludge villain attack, so that will be in the next part, and the rest will be a little some Island events that I'm gonna put in there, or just some content for when they go to Island. Just to build onto their characters. After that will be they'll be going to Island during one of the days for the training arc for the UA entrance exam. So that will take some of the days off of it, but Ezekiel and Mina will be in good. They'll be in good condition when the entrance exams comes comes into play. So Ezekiel's all about that work and get it done and make sure he's good to go. So we're gonna see you on the next part, I guess. Yeah, that'll be it. All right, see you later, guys.